Welcome, anatomy students, and I would like to make a short recording for you about the model brain and where those structures are. I would like you guys to be able to study more effectively, and I turn the camera to the brain. On the brain, we distinguish between different lobes. The frontal lobe is this area. The parietal lobe is that area on both sides. The occipital lobe at this area superior to the cerebellum, this area. And the last one is the temporal lobe at where the temporal bone is actually. The temporal lobe is separated from the frontal lobe through the lateral sulcus on both, fissure on both sides. The left and the right hemisphere is separated by the longitudinal fissure. And here fissure means super deep. We distinguish sulcus, sulci, or sulci on the surface of the brain. These are depressions, kind of trenches between the hilly parts, the bulging out parts. The bulging out parts are called the gyrus, one of them, and gyri, if it's many of them. Here, let's distinguish between a major sulcus, the central sulcus. The central sulcus is here, coming all the way around. It comes from inside, basically, all the way to the outer side. Here again, that's the central sulcus. Separates the pre-central and the post-central gyrus from each other, the central sulcus. We have the cingulate gyrus. One of them is this one. It's really deep. You have to separate, cut the brain, cut the corpus callosum, this one, to separate the brain. We have the present central, post-central. Addition to that, we have to distinguish the pons on the brainstem and the medulla oblongata. The brainstem also contains one part, the midbrain, and it's behind and superior a bit from the pons, and this is the midbrain, part of the brainstem, midbrain, pons, and medulla oblongata. At the bottom, at really inferior, is going to be the spinal cord. Okay, good. Let's check the cross section of the brain. Here is superior is the corpus callosum. Inferior to that is the thalamus on both sides. That's the thalamus. Anterior to it a bit, you can see it on this section, is the hypothalamus area. And the hypothalamus area leads to the pituitary gland, hypophyseal gland, this tiny stuff. Posterior to the hypothalamus is the pineal body. That area is the pineal body. On the other one, yeah, it has a number. That is the pineal body, superior to the cerebellum. We talked about the midbrain, this area, the corpus callosum, we talked about that. Superior to the thalamus and inferior from the corpus callosum is the fornix. This part is the fornix. This was the pineal gland, good. On here, on the model key, there's a mammillary body that the model also asks. This is basically behind the optic chiasm. So this is the mammillary body. Oh, one more thing, we did not talk about that. So this is the cerebral aqueduct that connects the third ventricle with the fourth ventricle. 45, interesting. Oh, that is the fourth ventricle. Yes, it is anterior to the cerebellum area. This is the arbor vitae, the tree of life pattern in the mid-sagittal area. It's in the cerebellum, and it can be revealed by the mid-sagittal cut. I guess I covered all of the parts, what you need to know on the brain, on this brain model. Have a good one. Thank you.